Welcome to a nourishing podcast. I am Mylène Notary and I help my clients build a personal and professional life that is nourishing, joyful, and deeply vibrant. Here we talk about new ways of living, being bold, think, and act out of the box to stimulate the life that lies within each of us. Hello everyone, I'm very happy to welcome you back for an English episode. Today I welcome Kresten Kloch from Denmark, who will talk about the concept of having time and to choose to have more time for what matters now. So, hi Kresten.
Hello, nice to be here.
I am very happy to welcome you here. So a while ago, we had dinner together with a friend in common, and you shared at that time your decision to have more time for yourself, and also, yes, to have more time for what matters for you now. And you also asked me this very interesting question: what makes you happy? What do you like to do beside your business? And I was pretty shocked and sadly shocked in a way that during a few seconds, I had nothing to say. I was just like, oh, well. So I think even though you are from the corporate world, and it's true that on this podcast, I welcomed more entrepreneurs. I think that the topic of choose to have more time for what matters for us and to also have this reflection, what makes me happy, is very a universal topic, subject. And I think it's very important to have this conversation today. So this is why I'm so happy that we have it right now. And yes, so please, can you introduce yourself? What is your career and your background also?
Yes, I would be happy to do that. My background is many years in the corporate world, so where I have been working in Denmark, but also in other parts of Europe, and been very busy and flying around and meetings and hotels and taxis all the time. So I have been there, and I decided. I got the same question one day, as you just referred to, the same question: when are you really happy, Kresten? And I had the same difficulties to give a quick answer to that. So I actually spent some time asking myself this, and I do it almost every year, to ask the same question: do you still think the same is making me happy? And then I decided to allocate more time in that direction, what makes me happy. And it sounds a little bit naive, maybe, but it's actually it's giving me more energy in the daily life. And I also started to read some studies about it. And all studies confirm that if you are doing what you want to do and you are happy, we should use that word, then you will live longer and you will have a more healthy life. So it's also all about a positive mindset. So that's what I decided to do. Actually some years ago when I was I'm still working in the corporate, but I have changed my role, so I'm able to do what I want to do.
And so you build a plan around that. And so what is the plan to have more time for what you want to do and make you happy?
It's important to have a plan to do it because there are different elements in it. Because when you are working in a corporate, you are working full time, then you also have a certain salary. You have some cost in your life, and so you need to look at the whole plate around you. Can you still afford to do what you want to do? So that's what I think when you're asking about a plan, is maybe also that you're thinking about. And I think it's also about flexibility. And what I hear when I speak to people in all ages, people who are just coming out of school or university, starting a job, they also want flexibility, as I want today. I'm longer. I have grown-up kids, and I have my house and my car and all this, but I need flexibility of a different reason than younger people want their flexibility. They want the flexibility to create a career, build a family, find a place to stay, and all this. And so I think that changes over time.
And also, I think that it's important when you want to change your daily life is to have a purpose. Otherwise, maybe it's just something you want, But once you have it, you don't feel that satisfied. And sometimes people start a depression because there is no purpose behind this desire to have more time. What do you think about that?
Yeah, to start a depression, I think you need to have realistic plans or a realistic plan. So when you decide to change your life without thinking of economy or thinking of how much you actually can do, then you can end up with depression, I think. But if you have a realistic plan and a realistic view of your abilities and coming back to this positive mindset. So if you really work with your mindset, looking at what you are able to do and not what you're not able to do, and looking for role models. I have role models in my life who has done this, what I'm doing. And there are role models close to me. There's also role models with people I don't know. For example, I have Clint Eastwood as a role model because he's yeah, seriously, he's a grown old man. He's a mature man, and he found a very young friend, a girlfriend, and he was asked, what do you think about this? You're that much older than she is. And when you're together, and what will happen then? And then he just answered, if she dies, she dies. And so that's a really positive mindset. So I want to copy that. So yeah. So role model, be aware of the what you are able to do and not what you're not able to do, and yeah, define when you're really happy. So and be aware of and focus on that and spend time in that direction. It can be small things or big things. I'm happy when I have a good dinner with my friends, or I go for a weekend somewhere, or go with my dog, or play my piano. So and then you also mentioned a bigger purpose, and yes, this is also something which is coming to me more and more now, and I think it's also because I am living in a world now where all around me are looking at a bigger purpose and working for the green transition. And I think it's really important that we all spend much more energy on that. And I didn't think about that 10 years ago or 5 years ago, but it's much more important for me today. So what I do in my life is should not harm or hurt the earth. Of course, I'm still flying. I'm still very seldom eat a meat, but I want to be more conscious about that.
Okay. And I think for many people, sometimes to find a purpose and to have a vision, it's quite difficult. Have you felt this?
I think I don't know. I think it's if you focus on it and think about it, then it's more easy to find it. Of course it is, but I think you need to decide for yourself that now you want to define what is your vision. And yeah, it's a difficult question. What should I answer? Because maybe it's also something it's easier when you have a lot of experience in different areas, what you like and what you don't like. And maybe I also think your brain is developing over the years where when you are young and fresh, you have a better memory. You have faster calculation but when you're a little bit older and you have a lot of experience, then you can connect different experiences and put them together in one overall vision, I think. Does it?
It makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
And also when we talk about this decision of having more time, you also shared that sometimes people don't do that because they're afraid to be less interesting with others at dinner parties, and often because they had a big career and all their lives were oriented on their career, on their business. Can you explain more about that? Or because it's true, when you shared that, I wasn't that aware of this kind of thinking and reflections, but I think it's very true also. So if you can develop more about that, I would be very happy.
Yeah, but this is what I have seen actually many times, that the people who has made this decision of changing the focus in their life, the decision is made on what they do, but when you talk to them, they are very much focused on the previous job and the previous role and the previous prestige. And so my thinking is that, hey, you haven't changed in your head. You have changed what you're doing, but you haven't changed your mindset. And I don't want to do the same mistake, because I see it as a mistake. Then you haven't done exactly what you wanted to do, because you're still caught in the old view on you. So yeah, but again, you don't want to sit in the dinner party and excuse yourself. I changed my mind. Not that important. I don't have the same. So I think it's a matter of your own mindset. So what is interesting for yourself, and be happy with that.
But I think that's also is just showing that how sadly we let our work and our career and our businesses define also ourselves. So if we just take off the job, the work, etc., then who we are. And this is why also when you ask the question, what do you like to do beside your business? I was like, oh, let me think.
Yeah. But another thing is also that I think it's important always develop yourself. And it could be in different areas. It doesn't need to be in a corporate important job. It could be, learning to play piano, or be more wise about yourself, or develop some skills. And I think that's important for yourself, for your happiness, for your brain, and for the people who are around you. So that's a part of it. So you're not living in your past job, but you're living in what you're focusing on right now, and what you think is important for yourself to be doing. And I have a principle for myself that every year I need to learn something new. And it could be big things or small things. It could be, we have talked about the piano sometimes, but it could also be training a dog or taking a boat certificate. But seriously, every year I find something new that I want to learn. Also, once some years ago, I have forgotten it, but I went to some French lessons in Montpellier, and every year I do something new, and small or big things.
But it also gives purpose to your life.
Yeah, you can say that. It also keeps my brain working, and I think for myself, still having an interesting life.
Okay. And what do you think when you want to take this kind of decision to have more time for yourself? Is it better to decide that and to change everything, or to do it gradually, step by step?
I think if you can arrange it so you do it step by step, I think it's the best way. I have seen examples where people they change completely from one day to the other, and then they don't have, and if they don't have a plan for that, they end up in depression, or they die simply. Seriously, I have seen an example of that. Very, very busy people, and now they stop, and few months later they are getting very sick, and then they cannot do anything. So if you can do it gradually and change your focus as I'm doing, I know it's a luxury situation for me that I can do that with my current job, and have a different focus, and work less. But also I think it's when you are starting your work life, if you can arrange your work life like that in a more flexible way, and that's what I see many people they want to do, and I think the companies needs to be able to offer a more flexible solutions, a more flexible terms. And the company I am in, this is something we really work on to give a flexible work life for our employees, young and older employees. So, for example, the maternity leave conditions and terms are more flexible in our company than other companies. And for the younger people and for the older people, and the mature or experienced people, or how do you call it?
It's better, experienced
it's
people.
better. They can do what I do, maybe reduce their work hours, and so from next year I will work 4 days, not 5 days per week, and so that's how we do it. And I think
and last time we were talking, you just saw an article in a newspaper talking about a study about working 4 days a week, and there are very great results about that.
Yeah, that article It was about a company who has decided that they only work 4 days, but the employees are paid 5 days. So it is associated with a lot of effective rules when they work these 4 days. So all meetings are maximum 20 or 40 minutes, not 1 hour, or not half and 1 hour as normally is when you book in your Outlook calendar. So and the meetings are shorter. They use a methodology called Pomodoro,
Yes.
and I think you know about it. And so they work very effective for a certain period, and they're not disturbed by the other people. And so they are actually seeing themselves as much more effective than in a normal work life, and that's the reason why they can work for 4 days, not 5 days, and get the same salary. And and I could also see myself maybe now. I said I will go down to 4 days. I think I will do the same amount of work, but now in 4 days.
Last time you also talked about feeling guilty to take time. Is it something that I think we all feel guilty about taking time for ourselves, but I think it's also very weird to feel that way. What do you think about this?
Yes, you're right. You're right. And I think the reason why I was feeling guilty was spending time doing other things than my work, but I'm still giving my work the amount of hours I have promised them. That's the contract I have with the company. But I think it's again back to my to my mindset. I have been having all the years I have been working hard in the corporate, that I'm giving the company much more than they're paying me for. So in Denmark we have 37 hours of work week, but I have always worked much more than that. And now I don't do that. Now I give them maximum 37 hours per week. And so it's my mindset I need to look at and change, because I give what I'm paid for. So, but that's yeah. So that's another thing, and maybe it also comes back to your career and your ambition, and where you are in life, and what kind of job you get, and which positions you are offered, and it is like this. If the more you give, you more offers you get.
Yeah.
So I think that's have been my thinking, and it is still like that. Some companies they're trying to do it differently, but it is like that still in corporates. So, but then we should be talking about entrepreneurs or startup companies, as we call companies in Denmark, very new and young. You can decide that you just want to work 37 hours per week, but then the whole development of the company is going slower. And if you want external investors in, they're looking at how hard do you work, how much do you fight for your idea. And so if you really want to make a difference, I think you need to put some hours in it. And then coming back to the overall plan for your life and for your family, and how much money do you want to have, and and all this. So it all gets together, and does it make you happy to work hard to get your idea developed, and or is it other priorities in your life? So again, it comes back to what makes you happy. I know it sounds a little bit naive again, but it comes back to that. Does it make you happy
I
to
agree.
produce and develop a new product, green tech products in some area, or does it make you happy to walk with your dog? And it will change your life over time, I think.
And so with this podcast, the name is Nourrissant. That means nourishing in English.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
For you, what is a nourishing life?
It has changed over time, but it's still, again, flexibility in my life, and to be able to do what I want to do. And so that's what gives me energy and keeps me healthy, and makes me live longer, and keeps me young. So So I think that's in this area, I think you're asking. And again, yeah, be able to do what I want to do. Of course, there are a lot of things you need to consider. No harm to anybody else, and make sure that you pay your bills, and make sure that you keep yourself in a good shape. But that's I think that's what is important for me in life, to treat myself in a good way and be together with nice people, meet nice people, and take the opportunity when you meet nice people and to learn more about them. And because I also worked as a headhunter many years ago, and you experience that all people have something interesting to talk about. You just need to find it. That's what I always think when I meet new people. There must be something interesting there to learn. Maybe I can learn something, and again, be curious and look at opportunities more than all the difficulties.
That's an interesting answer. Thank you so much for this conversation. I think it was very important to have it here on my podcast. So
thank you. Same. Thanks for good questions. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening this episode. If you liked it and feel inspired, I invite you to share it with your family, friends, and network. To support this podcast, you can give it 5 stars, comment, and add it in your favorites. There are more episodes in English to come.